Hello everyone, welcome to in-depth tutorial. At the end of this tutorial, you'd know how to create an application in Spring Boot. So let's start. Here I have already opened Eclipse. So all you have to do, click on File, go to New and select Maven project. Sometimes you may not find this option here, so you can go to Other and search for Maven. Select Maven project. Basically, Maven is a build automation tool that manages repository which contains jars and some other information about the jars. And these jars are called dependencies. The benefits of Maven project is you no longer have to add jars manually in each project. You simply set up a Maven project and add Maven dependencies in its pom.xml file. Then it will download all the dependencies from its central repository to local repository. And soon I'll make a tutorial about Maven in depth too. Now coming back to the point, what you have to do, just check this skip archetype selection. Click next. Treat group ID as package name and artifact ID as name of your project. So write an artifact ID as your project name. Let's write Spring Boot Demo and enter name of your project here as well. Click on Finish. Here's your project, Spring Boot Demo. Now, in core Spring without boot, you had to add each jar dependencies in pom.xml. But now with boot, you have to provide a starters entry that let you add jars to your class path. And these starters are default opinions of Spring Boot, means a set of jars according to project need and module. Now to use defaults, all you have to do is firstly add Spring Boot starter parent entry in the parent section of your pom.xml. Like here I'm adding group ID is org.springframework.boot. Enter artifact ID Spring Boot starter parent and add version as well. We are using 2.1.1 point release. Now, as we have already added the parent entry here in our pom.xml, and this parent entry are already made pom.xml by Spring community that contains categorized defaults in the form of starters. And to use defaults of particular type, you have to specify some starters according to project need as dependencies in Maven. Like we are creating our first Spring Boot app, that means we are using the core concepts of Spring. So we need to add a dependency let me copy and paste. The dependency we will be using is Spring Boot starter. Now hit save. Now Maven will look for the dependencies in local repository. If not found, then it will download the dependencies from central repository to the local repository. And for the first time, it can take some time as per your internet speed. Like here, Maven is downloading the jar files from its central repository. After Maven completes download of dependencies, there may be an error. All you have to do, simply right click on the project, go to Maven option and select update project, or you can use Alt plus F5 key. Click OK. Now create a class that will contain main method to start Spring Boot application. Go to new, select class, enter name of your class. It can be anything, like here I'm writing app starter. Choose a package name. So this is our main class that will start Spring Boot application. So annotate this with add Spring Boot application and run this application with run method. Now create some beans. Actually, beans are those classes which are going to be managed by Spring. New class a. I'm changing the package name for the beans. Create another bean named B. And for these two A and B classes to be managed by IOC, you have to tell IOC with the help of add component annotation or its child annotations. So type add component and same here. Hit save. And if you're not sure about the role of your bean class that's going to be managed by IOC container, you can add component annotation. Otherwise, for specific roles, use add controller, service, repository annotations. I'm also adding default constructor in both beans so that we get to know whether they are instantiated or not. So now let's implement the scenario where A needs B and both are going to be managed by Spring. So in A bean, I'm adding a data member as dependency. Let's say B as data member. Here comes a question. How Spring would know that you are asking B from Spring? Remember, Spring is not omniscient. You have to specify your requirement to Spring. So to let Spring know we need B from IOC, we are using auto-wide annotation here. And in the next tutorial, we'll learn in depth about auto-wiring in Spring. Now, run our first application. Run as Java application. as you can see, here's the output from both of the constructor of both of the beans. A bean is created and B bean is created. And one more thing, you can see what parent entry has inherited by clicking on effective POM. The parent entry in pom.xml has inherited this all stuff for you. You can see in effective POM, and you need not to add dependencies for these jars that are added in Maven dependencies in pom.xml just because of starters. That's it for this tutorial. You'll get the same content in written form available on my blog and the code on GitHub. Links will be in description below. Please subscribe to my channel and thanks for watching.